As a company grows and changes and people get promoted to management or multi-unit or support leadership roles, it's critical to have other seasoned colleagues and staff members who can step into the role and provide a steady and seamless leadership presence. But the transition to leadership is a process that takes time and intention, a process that isn't frequently measured in leaps and bounds, but by gradual gains and a succession of small wins. Leadership isn't something that can be cultivated in a one-day seminar or a few weeks worth of training on the job. It requires a culture that allows employees the time and the space to nurture and grow comfortable with their leadership skills, as well as make mistakes along the way. So on today's show, I am going to share 3 keys to developing internal leadership talent. Not everyone is cut out for leadership, and that is okay. While some skills can be taught or cultivated in certain candidates, many of the soft skills so often linked to leadership are innate, like an infectious personality or a knack for communication, and simply require the right environment to fully emerge. So when you're assessing potential leadership candidates, it's important to distinguish the difference between management and leadership traits. Even though there can be some crossover between the two, managers tend to assume a transactional approach focused on timely task completion for themselves and their crew. But leaders often move beyond task-oriented work with the intention to transform, inspire, and influence their team. It's a subtle difference, but a critical one in terms of identifying employees who are capable of forward and progressive thinking as opposed to a day-to-day mentality. When you find an employee who shows promise as a leader and has the necessary interest and drive, the next step is to figure out how to best further develop their talent. Because each person can have such drastically different learning styles, you need to fine-tune the approach and the technique for each leadership candidate. But the end result should be the same: coaching and mentoring employees, not just training them. Training, or literal step-by-step instruction, shouldn't be the goal for leadership development. And if you think about it, training generally relates to teaching someone how to do a specific task, such as inventory rotation or operate a machine like a point of sale system. So people fall back into that transactional mentality. Coaching and mentoring, the most effective method to cultivating leadership talent, offers support and guidance while encouraging free thinking and self-discovery. This is done purposefully in the absence of step-by-step instruction. The leadership mentor-mentee dynamic frequently mimics that of a parent and a child. Ultimately, both relationships seek not to create a mini-me, an exact replica who does everything to the same specifications as those who came before them. Instead, the hope is to foster individual thought, provide reassurance and advice, and create a safe space where mentee and child can each grow into their unique talents. Just as with any other career transition, sometimes leadership doesn't work out, even for those candidates who originally showed great potential and had the best of intentions. Again, it's okay. The benefit of already having a mentorship in place is that you'll be able to identify these situations very quickly during your regular check-ins or your communications. If an employee isn't satisfied in their role, one of the worst things you can do is force them to continue on. Of course, you want to dig deeper and ensure this isn't just the case of nerves or self-doubt at first. You don't want a momentary lack of confidence undermine an employee's promising future, but do respect those who ultimately make the decision that leadership just isn't for them. First of all, recognize that they are demonstrating confidence and strength and initiative and respect for you and your organization just by simply voicing the decision. Second, remember the saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. The same applies here. You never ever want to push people into or coerce them to staying on a leadership pathway when their heart isn't in it. You can certainly guide and encourage, but know when to let go and gracefully allow them to bow out. Leadership is a lifestyle, a personality, and mindset all rolled into one, and not solely a job or a position. So employees who aren't all in need to be free to find what truly lights that fire.